You are tuned into Seconds Out. My name is Ayman Khan, here with the new British heavyweight champion, Fabio Wardley. Fabio, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How's things, bro? You good?
Yeah, not bad at all. Despite my ruffled appearance at the moment, I'm doing well, and even better to speak to you, the new British champion. The
Well,
dust is firmly settled now on your win. How are you feeling capturing that title?
yeah, feeling great. Feeling good. Feeling accomplished. Feeling happy with myself. Feeling proud. Feeling like I've done something good. There's some validation there, which I'm happy with. So I'm looking forward to a big 2023.
Did Phil shed a tear in the aftermath?
Ah, no, no, he didn't. Not that I know of. Anyways, not that I know of.
You said after the fight on Matchroom Boxing, the conversation of white collar boxing is done now. Was that a thing for you, Fabio? Did you feel like that British title further legitimized yourself as a fighter and you can get rid of that white collar tag?
Yeah, definitely. But the white collar tag for me is a double edged sword because it has negative connotations with it, which I don't appreciate, obviously. And now that I've achieved certain things within boxing, like I say, I feel like that bit's done with. But the other side to it to me is the now that I have got the white collar tag, although that's fine, but I've made some achievements now, so other white collar people can look to that at least and go, well, if he did it, I can do it. So I still want a bit of it, but I don't want it to be, oh, he's only white collar, and
Hmm.
I want it to be, oh, he's white collar and he still managed to do so and so, and more of that, less than the other.
Yeah, because yourself and Lennox Clark are two in recent memory who've captured British titles from those backgrounds, which is sometimes like maligned in boxing circles. So you feel like your kind of win has helped to show there's another route to success in the pros through the white collar background.
Yeah, especially 1000%. But I just want to show that's the point of it. It's just that I want to show that if you love the sport, you're committed, you're dedicated, and that's what you want to do. It doesn't matter if you don't come from a famous ABA gym, if you didn't go to the Olympics or however else. It's just commitment and hard work.
Going into the fight with Nathan, what were you expecting from Nathan? And with the way the fight ended, did you maybe expect more from Nathan at all?
Sorry, mate, you cut up a bit there. What was that?
No worries, I said it again. Just jumping into the actual fight then. What were you expecting before the fight from Nathan? And with the way the fight ended, did you maybe expect more from Nathan after the fight?
I got pretty much what I expected from Nathan in terms of he was ready to compete. He wanted to go. He didn't want to shy away. He didn't want to back up too much. I just happened to get the better shots off. I turned out to be stronger, more powerful, and land the cleaner shots in those moments. The towel coming in was maybe slightly surprising, but also I don't think it was wrong. I don't think it was particularly early because it was only going one way past that point. Now there was pretty much no way back for him. So I know we want to see them highlight real knockouts and whatever else, and people asleep on the floor. But if you can save them for another day, I think that's always the best option.
It seems like when I watch you fight, especially in that fight with Nathan, you're a bit like the Hulk Hogan-esque type character. You need to take a couple of punches before you Hulk up and give your all. Is that just your nature? Is that you? What's that about?
Yeah, it's something I'm like. It's definitely something I like. It's a habit I'm not actively trying to do. I'm not trying to stand there and get clocked and then wake up. But those things seem to just happen for me. I'm trying to be more meticulous with the way I box and smarter and pay attention to situations more and ease in and do some slower approaches. But as those things happen, sometimes I get clocked and then I kind of throw that stuff to the side and go, right, okay, cool. If we're getting stuck in, we're getting stuck in.
Was that what that was then? Just less of the game plan, more of just raw fighting then in that fight.
I think it was more of a momentum thing. I could feel him feeling comfortable, feeling feeling more in control. He was getting some shots off and stuff, and I had to kind of step on that flame before it grew and turned into more. So I had to let him know himself that, okay, if you're going to start throwing shots, I'm going to throw some big ones on my own. They're going to hurt, and you're going to have to be more wary here.
Have you spoke to Nathan since that fight?
I haven't actually. No, I haven't.
Someone you did speak to was Dillian in the aftermath, and you thanked him and showed him so much appreciation afterwards. Can you kind of just sum up what Dillian has done for you to get you in the position that you're in now?
Like I said, in short, the man's changed my life, and for no reason. Like, he didn't before I signed to him, before we built a long-term relationship and everything. He didn't know me from anyone. He just saw me. I was a sparring partner. He saw me as an up-and-coming lad, wanting to prove myself, wanting to do well, and he was willing to put his own reputation on the line, put himself out there, push me, promote me, and want me to succeed and do well. And I'm just thankful that I've been able to repay him so far so good.
Was it a relief in that sense as well to give him that repayment and also just to get that fight? Because you and Gorman were talking about for so many fights. I was asking you, other reporters were asking you about that fight, just to get that done and move on as well.
Yeah, definitely. It was a double in both. I was happy to just be able to give a little bit of a thank you, a little bit of a reward, a little bit of validation to Dill to say to say thank you, and again to kind of close that chapter on the whole me and Nathan Gorman thing that has been going on for probably years now.
The team are getting tattoos, fulfilling their end of the bargain after you fulfilled yours. Normally people say to you after fights, like, what's next? But I suppose I want to ask, what's the next tattoo that your team might be getting next?
I have a disclaimer on this one. The first one was a bet, and my coach was man enough to honour it. The second one, I had no input in, and I had no clue of. Hence why in the video I get FaceTimed, and I was like, "What is going on here? Like, what are you doing?" But again, like me and him have been through everything. We've been side by side for everything. We've been next to each other for everything. He's been there since I started. So that's my guy to the end. So that tattoo has so much meaning to it for the pair of us.
As you progress in your career and you keep climbing up the ladder, you keep gaining momentum with your career also, do you feel the need to potentially add to the team like you have already to climb those heights of experience and learning in progression of your career?
Potentially, but I feel like my team's in a great place now. I think I've got everything perfectly how I need it. I feel good. I feel comfortable with the team around me. The team gels really well. We all work together really well. I feel like I'm learning a lot. Obviously, Ben Davison being the latest addition. So there's nothing right now. I don't think I need anything extra.
How does it work then, the split between yourself, your team, and then working with Ben? How does that kind of work within the camp?
So we still work as a trio. Rob is always, for all intents and purposes, Rob is my head coach, but we work as a trio. No one is one more than the other, or no one dictates the other. Whenever we train as a three. That we're all there together. We're all on the same page. We're all working together. Because I don't want a team that's split in the sense that 1 week I'm with Ben and we drill some stuff, and then the next I'm with Rob and we drill some different stuff. I want us all to be cohesive with the same plan, moving in the same direction. So that's how we do it. So when I go and train at Ben's, we go like I say, me and Rob go together and we all learn together.
Now, as you mentioned, you kind of close that chapter and you can move forward. 2023, you've got options. You can defend the belt. You can move forward. In your own words, where do you kind of feel your first foot forward is in 2023?
It's probably a defense. Probably a defense of some sort. Yeah, against who I don't know is the question mark. I really don't know who, but whoever. I'm not particularly fussed. It's about progression for me. I don't think I'll do the whole fight for it 3 times and keep it outright kind of thing. I might defend it once and then I'll start to move forward from there. I don't want to go stagnant in terms of sitting in the same place and just fighting for the British after the British after the British.
That British title puts a target on your back more so than it was ever beforehand. Have you noted the people that have kind of been calling you out, looking for a shot at that title and a shot at yourself?
Yeah, I hear them. I hear what they say. I know what they're doing. I know what they want, and it's fine. I've got no problem with it. I don't take any of it personally. It means nothing to me. We're all boxes with ego and ambition. So I've got something someone wants, and they wanna do what they can to get a hold of that. You're more than welcome to try.
You mentioned that you're all boxers with the egos and ambitions. Where does your ego and ambition stand right now? You mentioned, you want to defend that title, but does part of you kind of want to run a bit faster?
Yeah, a touch. The bit of me wants to be the main stage, the main event, the main attraction. I don't, and that's probably where my ego has moved to most now. Is I want to be the headliner. I want it to be my show. I want to be part of them big fights on big occasions. That's where I'm at now. So that's what I want to move to. And the hoping that's what's next for me next year.
Is that conversation that you've had with Eddie? Maybe we get that headline, maybe get Ipswich on the map as well.
Yeah, they're both things. They're both discussions we've had. Both things I want to do. Definitely things I want to take off. So timing, it's just about logistics and timing and making sure we can put it all together. But Ed, me, Deal, the team, we're all on the same page of the direction we want to move me in. It's just about putting the pieces of the puzzle together now.
Fabio, let's get some thoughts on a couple of other things before I let you go. We talked about your mentor, Dillian Whyte, has given you opportunity. It seems like Joshua wants to run it back if his social media is anything to go by, as Dillian Whyte has the swag, as it were. Is that the right fight there for both Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte in 2023?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's the right fight for the pair of them. Because they both need a big home fight now. Both coming off, like Joshua coming off obviously losses, but losses to one of the pound for pound greats, and not AJ, sorry, Deal coming off a win, but off a win against someone particularly unknown, at least to the UK audience. Wasn't the biggest of events or shows that, especially on what he's used to being a part of. So I think they both need that big spectacle moment again, those big events, those big fight week build-ups, the press conference, the weigh-ins, all of this, all of that. They need those moments. And everyone needs their right dance partner, and I think those two together are the perfect match.
Do you, looking at this like in a ruthless sense, kind of see AJ with everything that's going on, him with his trainer change, and see that as this is the right time for anyone to particularly fight him and maximize the potential of getting a win over him right now?
Yeah, I think so massively. He's probably in the most unstable place in his career that he's ever been, in terms of, like I say, keep changing trainers. He's lost a few fights. Has that affected his confidence? Maybe has a few question marks in his head, as opposed to the AJ of 3 or 4 years ago, undefeated, knocking everyone out, multiple world champion, like just this aura of I cannot be touched. Whereas that's been broken around him now, which means there's some chinks in the armor which could be exposed.
With that said, then would you pick Dillian Whyte to get the victory and potentially buy a KO over Anthony Joshua?
I would, yeah. I definitely would. I think Dill has the tools, and he's come on a long way in terms of when they fought the first time. Yeah, they've both had a few losses and stuff, but Dill's come back from his one and come through and put himself in some other testing situations to learn. So it's all gathered experience to use on the night.
You mentioned, the trainer changes. He currently stands with Derek James. He's going to see Virgil Hunter. It's something that he's repeated from last year when he eventually settled on Robert Garcia. Is that something that you find a little bit kind of confusing, the trainer change?
I don't find the trainer change confusing. I find the consistent trainer change confusing. I don't know. Each fight changing it. to me gives a sense of a workman blaming his tools as opposed to looking towards himself, because they're all great trainers. They've all done great things. Now it's a difficult one to say because they might not be the right fit or whatever. It might not fit perfectly, but ultimately, for you to gel, you need time in with someone. You need to understand the way they work. You need to understand their philosophy, what they're trying to train you for, what they're trying to get out of you. It's the same thing you saw with Tyson Fury when he made the change. You spend time with that trainer, you be around them, you not live with them, but you need to build a different kind of relationship. It's not just turn up to the gym for a few hours with them and then go home and then that's that. There needs to be more substance to it, I feel.
Final couple of things, Fabio. Fury versus Usyk. We're hopefully going to be getting that fight next year. Who would you pick right now if you were to make a prediction?
I really don't know. I really, really, really don't know. And it sounds like I've got splinters up my ass and I'm sitting on the fence, but I'm really not sure. Because I feel like if there is a person to beat Usyk, then it is the other way around. If there is a person to beat Fury, then it is Usyk. But can he do it? Does the questions that Fury pose in terms of size and mobility pose too much of a problem for Usyk? I know we saw early on in Usyk's career that he or heavyweight life. So there's maybes on both sides. So I really, really, really just don't know at the moment.
Did you see that WBO ordered Usyk versus Daniel Dubois? Might not potentially scupper it, but just your thoughts on Oleksandr Usyk taking on someone of Daniel Dubois, who we've seen recently in the ring as well, and potentially a target for yourself as well, Daniel.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't think it will happen. I don't think neither side wants it. Especially after Daniel's previous performance with a southpaw who he seemed to have a bit of trouble with. Who he found a bit puzzling in times, in moments, to then move forward and spar not only one of the best fighters in the world, but obviously the best southpaw in the world is probably not the most ideal move. So they'll probably do something else with Daniel, and I don't think with the unification fight with Fury being on the cusp, I don't think Usyk's going to divert and go for the Daniel fight either.
Does Daniel's actions to have taken the knee in his past couple of fights, what reaction does that elicit out of you? Because if you take your fight with Nathan, you got hit and your response was to battle back. Daniel's, albeit different injuries, was response to react differently. Does that as a response intrigue you in a way?
It can be seen as telling, yes. Yeah, it could. I don't know the full details. Maybe his eye went again. Maybe he was hurt again. Eyes are a very dangerous thing. It's something I can sympathise with. I've broken my own orbital bone. I know the pain. I know the uncomfort.
I believe Fabio was the knee in this case in the latest fight.
It was his knee.
I believe so.
So it's difficult because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know if he's had that through the whole camp. You don't know if he's only just got it, if it's how severe the pain is, how severe the injury is, whatever it is. There's a lot to factor in, and it's different to compare it to myself in a situation of a quote unquote kind of like fight or flight. But I wasn't injured when I fought Nathan. I was fine. It's just I took a few shots. There was no injuries in there at all. But a lot of people will look at that. A lot of other potential fighters will look at that and see if I can get to him, I can get to him, kind of thing, and I can maybe not. I wouldn't maybe not go as far as saying mentally break him, but again, another chink in the armor, which if you put enough pressure on, he may resort back to that.
Do you think it's fair to doubt him because he's taken those knees recently?
I don't know about doubting him because he's still a good boxer. He's still powerful. Still hits like an absolute train. He's still got a lot of good things going for him. It's just exposing your vulnerabilities so publicly and then regularly like that again, puts a different type of target on your back to where people in the past look to you with fear or whatever. They will go, I'm not so worried about that now because that if I do so and so, I can get to you. So it's an interesting one.
Yeah, interesting thoughts indeed, Fabio. I don't want to take too much of your time, so we'll leave that there. But I'll leave the final word with you. When can we expect to see you back out in the ring? The British champion, British heavyweight champion, back out in the ring. When's he coming back in 2023?
Early next year. So or early-ish, maybe maybe May, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant, Fabio. Looking forward to seeing you back out of the ring. Looking forward to seeing you hopefully defending the British title, or just in general back out in the ring. So, Fabio, thank you so much for speaking to the Seconds Out and myself. We'll catch you soon.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.